So before we start talking more about Zodiac Trader and the relevant subject, let me just take you guys through a little bit of background of the subject, and then we can start off with the interactive session. I really want to let you know guys that this is not going to be a lecture or a seminar of sorts. Jump in anytime you want, raise your hands, ask the questions, and we'll take it from there. So a little bit of basics first. At the outset, I would like to differentiate between what people think about algorithms and how they're really split in reality. There are two kinds of algorithms: high frequency trading algorithms and quantitative analysis algorithms. Naturally, when everybody thinks about algorithms, they're initially picturing HFTs, fast machines, faster. But that's not it. There are two sides of it. So let's first understand what HFT is all about. HFT is all about beating the retail guys and beating everybody else to the tick. So if you're submitting a bid order, there is always going to be an algorithm which is bidding before you. HFT is very technology driven. It's written by very complex programming people. And well, suffice to say that most of the people cannot understand what it is all about. Secondly, it's all about turnover. So in a natural environment where you will buy 100 rupees ka share and you will expect to make 5 rupees, 2 rupees or 3 rupees, HFT focuses more on keeping trading throughout the day, more number of times, as many times as you can, to generate more turnover, and at the same time scalping away the small profits from the marketplace. HFT, being what it is, supplies liquidity to the markets and helps them in certain ways. But at the same time, it's very costly, and especially in a developing country like India, it's very difficult to actually successfully deploy a high frequency trading algorithm without getting into too much of compliance ridicule. It's highly debated whether it's a right approach to trade in the markets and all that stuff, but let's not talk about that. So let's put it out there that it's very difficult to get it done. Now, quant is a different side. Quant has been going around for 100 years now, and people have been trading with maybe not use of machines, but they have been developing and working on systems ever since the birth time of Charles Dow, who started the basic moving average concept. So when we picture quant markets, we are naturally picturing moving averages and everything that is involved in it. HFT, as opposed to HFT, quant focuses on doing the right things, getting in the right stocks at the right time, and then expecting to profit away from the prediction of the movement as opposed to just the scalping of the market. So it's not about turnover, it's about getting it right. Maybe not more number of times, but getting it right for the bigger size. Quant is also research driven, as you guys might have guessed. So if a simple moving average does not work, people started focusing more on RSI, फिर momentum trading आ गया, this, that. And so research has grown over a period of times. We now have software doing our research for us, and that works to a very good extent. So quant is basically about that. Like I said, it's all about quality of signals. What is a signal? A signal is an indication of buying or selling a particular stock or a particular index, which is generated by a trade recommendation system. Now that can be a moving average, that can be fundamental analysis, that can be anything else, sentiment analysis for that matter. So it can be anything from that. Research driven or quant driven algorithms are basically very cost effective because, well, they are not focusing on turnovers. So while you are supposed to focus on keeping the trading cost low, you are not restricted too much to it as you are in the HFT segment. It has very little compliance hurdles. Most of the times you can build a quant algorithm and get it without any compliance hassle. You can just trade on it by using one-touch mechanism. So you don't need any separate approval for that. People have been doing that. It works very well. Practically every broker now provides APIs and trading terminals which you can use for doing this kind of stuff. So yeah, in essence, there is very little compliance hurdle. At the same time, if you want to fully automate a strategy, it is still, while it is not as simple as doing one-touch algorithms, but it is still less troublesome as compared to high-frequency trading. So those are the differences. So, and today we are not here, I'm not here, Mahesh is not here to talk about HFT. Our opinions of the subject differ a lot from other people, and we believe fundamentally and first and foremost that quantitative approach to financial market trading is more fair, is more suitable for everybody, including a person who wants to invest 1,000 rupees a month into financial markets to a multi-millionaire who wants to make a lot of money by trading in a lot of number of scripts. That's what we believe, that's what we're going to be talking about. So anybody expecting me to talk about HFT can go ahead and ignore that advice. Now, when we talk about quantitative finance algorithms, we're basically talking about three things. Now, most people don't get this. Most people believe that मेरे पास algo है, काम हो गया. But algo is not just that. Algo is three things. One, it needs a quant. A quant can be anybody who has a good idea to trade with, right from a person who imagines that by buying everything above yesterday's close, you can make money. So that's an idea, and that's what a quant is. So quant is not such a heavy stuff. It's something that anybody can do. Now, like I said, he has to imagine the new ideas. He has to backtest the algorithms. You need a mic?
When he's saying imagine ideas, new algos, it can be a simple idea कि मैं 2 रुपया घटने के बाद मुझे लेना है.
Exactly.
A quant idea is no rocket science. A quant is कल भाव बढ़ा था, आज मैंने 2 रुपया घटने के बाद मैंने सिर्फ बाय करना है. This is a quant idea and this can be coded in the system. So quant is not a rocket science. आप लोग जो करते हो ट्रेडिंग के लिए, जो भी आपकी स्टाइल है, that is quant. Only thing is आपको स्क्रीन के सामने बैठ के करना नहीं है, आपका दिन भर उसके लिए वेस्ट करने का जरूरत नहीं है. What you can do, you can program your trade कि कल जो 5% बढ़ा था, अगर वो चीज़ आज मुझे 2% नीचे मिलती है तो मेरे लिए वो बाय कर ले. This can be a good quant idea and this can make a lot of money for most of the people. जो आप आराम से 2 दिन बाद भी अगर वो खरीदते हो तो इट कैन स्टिल गिव यू अ गुड आइडिया, गुड रिजल्ट. जैसे सब लोग बोलते हैं ट्रेंड है ट्रेंड है ट्रेंड है. अगर आप चलती गाड़ी में चढ़ोगे तो गिरने का खतरा उतना ही है. चलती गाड़ी थोड़ी आगे जाके अगर रुक गई, उसने वापस सीटी बजाई, जैसे ट्रेन में होता है, ट्रेन थोड़ी हिलती है, वो एक बार सीटी बजाता है, सेकेंड टाइम वो चालू होती है. अगर सीटी बजने का तो हिल के अगर रुक गई, यू कैन कोड अ सिंपल प्रोग्राम, थोड़ा चलने का जब वो पीछे आता है तब मेरे लिए बाय करना. दिस इज अ गुड क्वांट आइडिया, देयर इज नो रॉकेट साइंस. दिस इज व्हाट ही इज ट्राइंग टू टेल यू कि क्वांट कैन बी एनीथिंग. आपने बोला है कि आज शाम को जो 5% चीज़ घटी है वो मेरे लिए बाय कर, या तो आज जो 5% लास्ट 15 दिन में 5% जो चली है वो मेरे लिए बाय कर. दिस कैन बी अ क्वांट आइडिया एंड दिस कैन बी कोडेड इन योर डेस्कटॉप. इफ़ यू आर अ ऑनलाइन ट्रेडर यू कैन कोड इट. आप जनरली बोलते हो ब्रोकर को, भाई 2 रुपया घटने के बाद मेरे को बोलना, वो ब्रोकर को याद नहीं रहता है क्योंकि उसके पास दुनिया भर के लोगों का ट्रेड चालू होता है, तो भूल जाता है आपको फ़ोन करने को. बट यू कैन फ्रॉम योर ओन पर्सनल ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट यू कैन कोड दिस स्ट्रैटेजी इन योर प्लेटफॉर्म. दिस इज व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग टू टेल कि अ क्वांट डज नॉट मीन आपको 10 लाख रुपया लगाना है. इवन इफ यू वांट टू इन्वेस्ट 50 शेयर्स, इवन इफ यू वांट टू बाय 100 शेयर्स, यू कैन डू इट यूजिंग अल्गो. आपको दिन भर आपका दुकान, आपकी नौकरी छोड़ के स्क्रीन के सामने देखते बैठने की जरूरत नहीं कि ये 2 रुपया कब घटेगा और मैं कब फ़ोन करके खरीदूँ. This is what he is trying to tell you.
In fact,
Algo is not difficult. Algo is very simple.
Yes.
It
On
has
that
got
note,
nothing in it. कोई भी बंदा ये कर सकता है, आप भी कर सकते हो.
6 महीने पहले एक WhatsApp पे मैसेज आया था कि एक पर्टिकुलर एनालिस्ट जो बोलता था बाय करने का, एक ट्रेडर वो देखते जाते हैं पैसा
आप ये आइडिया क्वांट में डाल दो.
that is actually a quant algorithm.
अगर आपने नोटिस किया CNBC में बोलने का था, अगर वो चीज़ बेचने से फ़ायदा है, आप कोड कर दो. CNBC को भी हम लोग कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं. इसके ऊपर जो अनाउंसमेंट हो रही है मेरे इसमें आ जाए और हम लोग इसको बेच देवे. दिस कैन बी कोडेड.
I think let's avoid naming people here, right? Yeah.
मेरा कहने का मतलब ये है, आपके दिमाग में जो ख्याल आता है दैट कैन बी कोडेड इन दिस सिस्टम. आपको लगता है कि भाई कौवा उड़ने के बाद मेरे लिए 100 शेयर बाय कर, इट कैन बी कोडेड. यू नीड अ कैमरा, यू नीड अ टर्मिनल. वो कैमरा जैसे सोचेगा कि कौवा उड़ गया, इट कैन बाय 100 शेयर्स फॉर यू. सो इट इज़ अ सिंपल जॉब. इट हैज़ गॉट नो रॉकेट साइंस इन दिस. It is very simple. People are making it very difficult because everybody wants to charge. But आपका जो स्टाइल है that can be coded as an algo and it will work for you. So software आपका हेल्प करने के लिए, सॉफ्टवेयर आपका गुरु नहीं हो सकता. It's like a calculator. आप आज भी बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो लोग कैलकुलेटर से फास्ट खुद की गिनती करते हैं. They don't need a calculator. But बाजार बढ़ रहा है तो अब आपको इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स यूज कर रहे हैं. सो दिस इज व्हाट ही इज ट्राइंग टू टेल यू. सॉरी, आई एम मकरंद, सॉरी, कंटिन्यू.
No, he's not interrupting me. He's simplifying, in fact, what I'm saying. And I think that makes more sense to you guys as well. See, on that note, in fact, now that he reminds me anything can be algorithm, I differ on the Kawwa algorithm. I don't want that. But some of the best ideas, and I've been doing this for quite a good number of years, specifically helping people to get algorithms up. And what I've realized is there is a distinction between thinking about algorithms and trading algorithms. Not everybody can trade algorithms well. Like for example, कुछ लोग और कुछ experienced लोग 1990 के टाइम से बोल्ट पे बहुत अच्छा स्क्रीन रीडिंग करके ट्रेड करते हैं. They've been still doing that quite recently, and now they've started feeling कि हाथ से उतना काम फास्ट नहीं होता. What I've done is I've helped some of them build algorithms to suit their trading ideas into a tradable model, and it works very well. Now, is that because of the technology? The answer is no. Technology simply helped them do what they did in one stock to do it in 50 stocks. Technology simply helped them keep the pace. Technology did not give them the idea. And therein the distinction comes in. So, there is quant or researcher or a trader who imagines the idea, who thinks कि कैसे trade करना है. There is a developer. Now that developer can be somebody like me, can be somebody else, can be a broker's platform, can be anything. जो उसको वो idea को trade करने में help करता है. And then there is the algo trader जो actually वो algo को manage करता है. Most of the times क्या हो जाता है, ये पहले दो लोग एक ही होते हैं, algo imagine करने वाले और algo लिखने वाले. और अल्गो ट्रेड करने वाले अपने हाथ में थमा के चले जाते कि आप ये अल्गो ले लो और चला लो, पैसा बन जाएगा. What happens is we do not understand those algorithms as well as we are supposed to, and that is where the problem is. We don't understand how the algorithm is supposed to behave, and that creates problems because we don't know what it's going to do tomorrow morning. So this is the basic distinction. This is not about 3 लोग चाहिए एक अल्गो बनाने के लिए. This is about 3 mindset चाहिए अलग अलग टाइप के. Sometimes you will find that approach in the same person. Sometimes one person can do all of these 3 jobs, but not always. Now I want to talk about a very Indian subject when it comes to algorithms, and the reason why I want to talk about it is everybody who's talking about algorithms, and I've gone to conferences and this that, हर आदमी algorithms के बारे में जब बात करता है तो वो बहुत इंटरनेशनल टाइप की बात करता है, अज्यूम करता है कि सब सेम है. सब सेम नहीं है. इंडियन मार्केट प्लेस बहुत अलग है यूएस और यूके के मार्केट प्लेस से. हमारे यहाँ पे टेक्नोलॉजी अभी भी कैचअप कर रही है. हमारे यहाँ पे कंप्लायंस ने अभी तक कुछ भी कैचअप नहीं किया है, फॉर अ सिंपल रीज़न दैट देयर इज़ नॉट इनफ अवेयरनेस, देयर इज़ नॉट इनफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ हाउ दिस इज सपोज टू वर्क, एंड दैट्स वाई कंप्लायंस ऑल्सो हैज़ नॉट कॉट अप. एट द सेम टाइम इंडियन ट्रेडर्स, इंडियन एक्सपीरियंस ट्रेडर्स हु हैव बीन डूइंग थिंग्स बाय वो चोपड़ी वाला लॉजिक, दैट स्टिल वर्क्स, दैट स्टिल हैज़ good wisdom nuggets that we can take from, that we can build algorithms from. And on that note, the best algo I have come across, and probably that Mahesh also has come across, is a human eye. A human eye can identify patterns as best as any algorithm can, and probably much better than any computer written software can do. So, and we want to focus on that because we as a country have been evolving on that notes. We've always relied more on intuition of people. We've always relied on reading of people. Screen reading algorithms cannot do that. जो आदमी बोल्ट पे बैठता है, जो आदमी ट्रेडिंग करता है, उसकी अंडर, एंड आई हैव सीन दिस हैपनिंग, पीपल हैव प्रेडिक्टेड कि मेरा अल्गो क्या करने वाला है बाय जस्ट रीडिंग. ही डज दैट ऑल द टाइम, डोंट यू? So he's been doing that कि अभी कल अपने को ना ये शेयर में बाय आ जाएगा, and I'm like, how do you say that? There's no signal, there's no indication. He's like, no, you won't understand this. तू चार्ट नहीं देखता. So what we are supposed to do really when we are thinking of algorithms or building algorithms or buying algorithms from people is what those ideas are, and because ideas are human in their essence. And it's not people versus algorithms. ये एक environment जो मैं देख रहा हूँ, and I'm seeing this over and over that इंसान जो चीज़ अच्छी नहीं कर सकता वो algo कर सकता है. ये जो concept है ये बहुत limited सोच का indication है. The idea is algorithms and technology simply bring discipline to the game and scale. Nothing else, nothing more. That's what this is all about. If you think that an algorithm is going to do something crazy and make money for you, you're wrong. what an algorithm is going to do for you is either किसी और ने वो आइडिया डाल रखी है जिसके ऊपर वो काम कर रहा है, या आपको बैठ के आइडिया डालने है जिसके ऊपर वो काम करेगा. That's about it. That's what an algorithm is. Now I see a surge of a good synergy between algorithms and people. Most of the people who understand algorithms, or who understand research very well, or who understand trading very well, can come up with very good profitable ideas on how to trade in the market. जैसे कल के ऊपर आज भाव है तो लेने का और 2% ऊपर बेचने को लगा देने का. This is an algorithm. And but ये कौन चला सकता है जो उस तरह के स्टॉक्स आइडेंटिफाई उसके हिसाब से कर रहा है. So it comes down to stock identification. So it's a very human business. The reason why I keep saying human because Algo is not something that you just isolate away and then think that it will go and make money for you. Algo is something that you can live with. The same way we are living with Facebook. Because ultimately, what else is Facebook? What else is WhatsApp? All of these. I mean, Facebook in its essence is a big algorithm that connects you to your friends. That's what it is. And it comes down to how an algo can best support a human decision. Because आपके बैंक अकाउंट में कितना पैसा है, आपकी ट्रेडिंग रिस्क लेने की कैपेसिटी कितनी है, आपके घर में अगर नेक्स्ट मंथ में शादी है तो आप ज़्यादा बिजी हो, ये कोई अल्गो प्रेडिक्ट नहीं कर सकता. ये सिर्फ आप जानते हो. So every algorithm has to focus on supporting human decision, and we write some of algorithms just to do that. But the essence that I'm trying to make is, don't just buy something, or don't just code something, or don't just trade something as an algorithm because it shows profitability. Think about whether it suits your needs. Think about what kind of budget have you allocated to equities. Think about whether it suits your personality to trade. Whether you like taking risk on intraday basis, whether you don't like taking risk on intraday basis and you just want to buy a stock and hold it for 4 months. Think about what an algorithm is going to bring to your life, not just about whether it's profitable. The next point here is less automatic execution. And you might see I'm going away from technology when I say less automatic execution, but the point still remains that we are still, as a stock market, as a financial marketplace, and as an economy, we are still not yet all that mature. We are getting there, and that's why we are calling ourselves a developing country. So maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, we'll be in a place where we can give it all away to machines and let them do their stuff. But we are not there yet. So let's not push it. Let's keep a little bit of control to ourselves. Let's allow an algorithm to send a notification to our mobile phones, wherein we can say, okay, this is what my algorithm thinks it should do, and okay, I approve it. And we need that. In essence, as a country, we need that, because otherwise, you're just replacing one problem with another. And that's not going to help anybody. Again, and going on the same point, we need more analytical automation. We don't need more execution automation. We don't need algos that can place orders very well. We need algorithms that can anticipate what's going to happen in the market and give you that research. That's what we need. And some softwares are actually doing a pretty amazing job at that. Insanely amazing jobs. And we need to appreciate that. Rather than just thinking कि इसको algo में कैसे convert करूँ, think कि उसमें से अच्छा analysis मुझे मिल रहा है कि नहीं. So focus more on that rather than just the execution. Execution will take care of itself. It's technology. It will always grow. Don't worry about that. And we need to stop, first and foremost, we need to stop being afraid of what an algorithm. That's not mine. That's his. Anyway, so we need to be less afraid of algorithms, and we need to think more on how we can convert our experiences. Well, that's not helping. That's giving more fear. So we need to be less afraid of algorithms, and we need to start thinking about how many ideas can we bring to table in terms of automating those ideas, in terms of analyzing those ideas better. Because I've been doing this with traders, and they all come around this कि मेरे को algorithm बनाना है. And how do we do that? I have no idea. तुम्हारे पास कुछ है तो बोलो. And most of the times the conversation went from मेरे पास क्या है to उसके पास क्या है, because he understood the market. He's been doing this for maybe before I was born, and he knows that subject better. So he says कि मैं जब देखता हूँ कि result आता है ना तो stock जाके ठोक देने का. And this has actually happened, because when you see the financial marketplace, आप कहीं भी CNBC चालू करो, जब रिजल्ट का सेशन होता है तो 10 में से 8 स्टॉक को शॉर्ट सेलिंग करके पैसा बनता है. बट ये हमेशा नहीं होता. Sometimes when you're wrong, you can lose a lot of money. So I have actually sat with traders like these, and we've converted those ideas those ideas that are not part of moving averages or indicators or this that, those are the ideas which are part of behavioral analysis, and human beings understand other human beings better than a machine can, at least yet. So we need to identify कि ऐसे क्या behavioral patterns है जो हम लोग algos में convert कर सकते हैं, and that's really what we need to start doing. Now this is going to be a little bit scary, but I want to start about what two different kinds of algorithms exist in the marketplace, and regardless of whatever you do, this is what you will end up doing as a subject. One which is classic, जिसको हम लोग technical style बोलते हैं या जिसको हम लोग quant style बोलते हैं अभी in routine sense of the word, it's called trend following and momentum. Trend following and momentum is, if you can imagine, it's more like a moving average. You trade 10 times, you lose money 7 times. But when you lose 1 rupee. When you make money, you make 3 rupees. That is what these people call as risk reward ratio. जब खोना है तो 1 रुपया खोना है और कमाना है तो 3 रुपया कमाना है. So what happens is at the end of those 10 trades, you end up making 2 rupees, and it works, or at least it did work till recent times. So, and that is the idea, that you don't need to be more right. You just need to be more profitable when you're right. That is the idea behind trend following or momentum based trading. And like I said, it has big wins and a lot of small losses. Now the chart basically tells you just that. If you kept trading on trend following, this is how your chart will look. You will have more and more losers. On the right hand side we have losers, on the left hand side we have winners. But that's in ascending order. So when you win, you would make a lot of money. So if you kept trading a stock on trend following basis, eventually you will get one big trend and you'll be making a lot of money. That's the idea. Now you can approach it in 5,000 different ways. You can make 10,000 different strategies on top of it, but that's exactly what you'll be doing in trend following. All the breakout systems, all the momentum systems, all that stuff, that's nothing more than this. Now there are variations, but the idea is very simple. जो चल रहा है उसको खरीदो, जो घट रहा है उसको बेचो. Now I can say this as technologically advanced as I want to, but it won't make any sense. That's trend following, and that's the classically accepted approach of making sustainable quant algorithms, other than the mean reversion approach, which basically focuses on trading in the range. So if a stock, अब जैसे Reliance है, which now recently it has started breaking out of a range, but for past couple of years it has been in a range of 300-400 rupees. So people have been selling it when it goes up, buying it when it goes down, regardless of what. And as long as the stock is in that range, you will end up making money. That's the idea behind mean reversion. So what happens here is you keep making those little gains, but sometimes, and that does happen, when the stock breaks out of that range, you will end up losing a significant loss. But because you're winning more often and you can cut your losses short, you can end up making more money by nature. Now these two systems, and most of the people will think that these two systems are contradictory to each other. These two ideas are contradictory to each other. They are not. There is a group of people which keeps following trend following, and there is a group of people which keeps doing mean reversion. And then there is some really weird people who try to mix them together and still end up making money. But the point is, these two ideas can and have coexisted for quite a number of years. There is no one correct approach. However, and as a trend, what we've seen recently, and I think anybody who's doing technical based trading or quant based trading is actually noticing this and feeling this, that trend following or momentum based trading is getting more difficult every day. We're facing more problems doing it because of two things. One, when any economy grows, when any financial marketplace grows, it becomes more susceptible because of the volume that it brings in. So you end up having less number of opportunities to make more amount of money. It's inversely proportional. I mean, take a look at the US. That's exactly what is happening over there. Two, things start getting more stock specific, because when a market launches, everything is cheap. So trend following generally works because everything is trying to hit the top. But when it settles down, when the market really matures, things start becoming more interesting. Because पहले अगर आप 100 स्टॉक्स में कोई मोमेंटम की सिस्टम चलाते थे तो आपको 100 में से 70 स्टॉक्स में सक्सेस मिलने का चांस था. Now the ratio has dropped down all the way from 70 to somewhere in the close of 10 or 20. So you have to be more specific कि आप कहाँ पे काम कर रहे हो. पहले क्या होता था, आप ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग चला लो, मार खाने का चांस बेसिकली कम है. But that's no longer true, and that's creating a fear in people's mind that trend following is no longer working. It is not trend following not working. It is us becoming more interested in a limited number of stocks. Just like जब आप सब्जी के मार्केट में जाते हो, naturally you are interested in what's more fresh. So we are getting more interested in a limited number of stocks, and that's causing trouble for trend following system. So you cannot go ahead and apply the system to an entire market की Nifty 50 पे चला दिया. You are probably going to end up losing money if you just applied blanket to a group of stocks. So you have to be more selective now. And naturally what's happening is there is more noise in the market. There is more volatility in the market where it's not supposed to be. So what it does to us, what it does to people who trade on systems, algos, all that stuff, it stops us, it restricts us to a limited number of stocks again. Because there's more noise everywhere else. There are more false breakouts everywhere else. There are more wrong signals everywhere else. That's what's happening generally. That does not mean mean reversion is doing by the loads, because जो चल रहा है वो एक दिन में 20% भी चल रहा है, 25% भी चल रहा है. So whereas there is 90 stocks which are becoming more choppy in a range, if you're caught in the wrong stock out of those 10 and you're doing mean reversion, you're way dead than what you're supposed to be. So that's what's happening. So in essence, what I'm trying to say here is we're getting into a more stock selective approach. We're getting more into portfolio selection driven marketplace, and that's not new. That has happened in the developed countries, and that's now happening here. So we need to understand more about how stock selection really works, wherein fundamentals and all that information can really come into a good play. And then there are other sciences, but I think we'll talk about them later. Future trends, again, portfolio selection, that's what we're betting big on. It's the key to the future in our opinion, because you can run a very bad system, and people actually do that. They run a simple moving average 200-day wala system on a very good stock जो already breakout में है, and they make money out of it. Plain and simple. If you get in the right stock, you're going to end up making money regardless of how bad system you have. We're also seeing a new, and not so new, but a new conceptual idea of robo-advisors. Now what's happening is, because people are not very comfortable with a fully automated execution, we are seeing a rise of, yeah, I know the picture is funny. So we are seeing a rise of robo-advisors. Now what is a robo-advisor? A robo-advisor is a program. That program analyzes the market for you, gives you signals and trading recommendations directly in your hands. So you don't have to worry कि पीछे कौन सा system है, कौन सा strategy है. You just need to worry whether I'm getting the right recommendation. And that's on the search, and that's where the action is in future. We're also seeing, and it's probably in its infancy even now, but we're seeing a very awareness towards mobile environments. People have started trading on mobiles. People have started extracting information on mobiles, and somewhere combined robo-advisors with these mobile environments, and you have a full-scale algorithmic environment which is very healthy. So tomorrow you can trade algorithms on your mobile phones. The control is still yours. There's a robo-advisor making those recommendations, so you know it's coming from a system. So we are seeing that as a trend, and that's an healthy trend. And I think it's very good for a country like us, because it brings us closer to the machines, at the same time not involving our risks too much into it. I know I'm taking too much of your time, so what I'll do is I'll skip most of the parts, and we'll talk about best practices for Algo Traders. First and foremost, and don't let anybody else tell you any different, a good broker is must. When you're trying to trade algorithmically, systematically, a good broker is must. A broker who understands what technology is, and not everybody out there does. Just having a technology department does not mean that you're aware of what's going on. So a good broker is must. A customizable software is must, because a customizable software really brings you closer to putting your ideas in this. And that's basically where the integration problems comes from, because brokers have yet to understand fully what this is all about. We have the integration problem, wherein I have an idea, you have an algorithm, somebody else has a developer. I mean, there are people all over the place. And this brings me to how we approach algorithms, how we approach the financial marketplace. So our approach to algorithms, as our company names goes, Ayan's approach to the algorithms is threefold. we have three things that take care of what we do. The first is Zodiac Trader mobile application, which is in its essence a robo-advisory platform. Connect to it, get recommendations, select the stocks that you want to trade, and voila. You'll keep getting recommendations on that. You will keep getting predictions on that, about which Mahesh will speak more about now. The second thing is a software called Alice. I cannot go into details of what Alice does right now. You can visit stall number 13 for that. I'll be more than happy to explain more about it. But in its essence, it's a customizable algo trading software wherein you can put your ideas in, or you can take one of our ideas in. The third is InnoBroker, which is solution for broking community, which helps brokers really get on the fast track of algorithmic environments. So I'm going to skip these parts and hand over to Mahesh sir to talk more about Zodiac Trader. We do want to encourage algo-based tradings. Thank you. We do want to encourage algo-based tradings. We do have some preferred brokers who understand algorithmic trading well, much better than others. One of them is MDirect. MDirect is right next to our stall. Go ahead, explore what you can do with them. So that's one of Ayan's preferred broker. If you're interested in becoming one, please go ahead and let us know. We'll be more than happy to accommodate. I invite you to our stall number 13. I thank you. We will try and do that. However, I just invite you to come down to our stall. We have a couple of chairs. Sit down, have the conversation with us. If you're really interested in understanding all this subject, we are more than happy to oblige. Thank you very much from Ayan Analytics.
Thank you so much, sir.